pregnancy test on her, showed positive. She was denying that she had sex. Then she said she had to go to the bathroom. She went to the bathroom. She was in there for quite a while. We kept knocking on the door. Finally, we got her to open the door, and there was blood everywhere. She was cleaning it up. So we took her back to the room, and I was afraid that she knew she was pregnant. She had done something to herself. So the doctor started doing a vaginal exam on her. We had the lady come to clean the bathroom. She put the baby in the trash can, and then she put another clean liner over the top of it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So when they looked in there, there was no trash in there, but it was underneath the clean bag. The baby's dead. Okay, we have him in trauma too, but she killed the kid.
This is an extremely troubling case. A 19-year-old is at the hospital with her mother and hasn't told anyone that she's pregnant and ends up delivering this baby, locking herself in the bathroom at the hospital, delivering the baby. She's in there for a while, then discards the baby in the trash. The baby's found dead. Take a look. Here she is. Alexee Trevizo is her name. Looks younger than 19, but she's 19 years old. I mean, that's young. That is young. I'm going to show you something now. This is the moment that the nurse comes into the room where Alexee is with her mom and explains what has just transpired, because mom doesn't know. Mom doesn't know. Let's watch.
I'm sorry, there's we discovered a dead baby in the bathroom.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. It came out in me and I didn't know what to do.
Lexi, I told you about this.
But
I just asked you, baby, to tell me the truth.
It was not crying or nothing.
What did you do to it?
Okay, stop right here. Stop. Number one priority, guys. Number one priority is she just had a baby. I don't know if she's delivered the placenta. She's bleeding significantly.
Yeah.
I've spoken to the obstetrician at Loveless. They want her out there as soon as possible. I'm sorry about this, but in terms of delivering a baby and it looked like you tried to hide it, we do have to have the police involved.
And nothing was crying. It came out with nothing.
I know. But the baby's gonna have to be taken for autopsy and there'll be an investigator and everything. I'm really sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
How big is the baby?
It's full term.
What? 9 months?
Nothing was crying.
Lexi, have you watched the news of the girls that what they do to their babies and what they go to jail?
Nothing was crying.
Any other questions? Okay.
It's a tough one. This is a tough one. Now, you heard her mom talk about the news, and she's talking about a case. This is taking place in New Mexico. We just covered a trial, and there was a case in New Mexico. Similar circumstances. Take a look at this video. You'll remember this video. This is another young mom. This one is 18. Her name's not Alexee, it's Alexis. Also in New Mexico. Pulls up to the dumpster and unbelievably discards. Again, we can't believe we're watching and we're seeing this, but discards the baby. That baby was found, that baby is alive, that baby has recovered, but the baby in the hospital did not survive. So now you have Alexee on your left, 19, that's Alexis on your right, she was 18. She's now, the one on the right, doing 18 years for what happened, what she did to her baby. What's gonna happen to Alexee on the left-hand side? These cases are tough. Let's bring back in our think tank, Brian Watkins, Ian Friedman, Bernardo Villalona with us. Ian, what do we do here? What do we do?
All right, as person watching, we sit here and shake our heads, right? Horrible. Defense lawyer, that's what you're asking me. On this one, you got to look at every single word that the young lady just said. They're going to look, was the baby alive at the time of birth into the bathroom? The defense lawyers are going to look at her mental state. Did she have the mental state to meet the elements of murder and so forth? Prosecutors are going to look at this. Do we charge it as murder as they have? Do we drop it down? There's a lot of legal analysis that has to go to this terrible tragedy that we're seeing here right now. That's what we do. We just have to come back, look at it, analyze it legally, see what fits. In this case, prosecutors are going to, I mean, it kind of, baby dies, people are outraged. People also want to believe there's something wrong with mom. There's so much going on in this sort of case. It's going to come down, if I'm defense lawyer and she comes in, I want someone to come in as a mental health person, see where her mind was at that very moment. Is this a murder or not? So again, Vinny, I could talk about this over and over. This would be a long intake with a lot of professionals involved.
Bernarda, it's rare that we see what we're looking at next to us right here in the screen, which is, this is like moments after. This is moments after she's given birth. Not the dumpster, but the video of the young woman in the hospital. So you see the reality of everything here, right? There's no, it's not going to be about testimony about this is what I was saying. So you are seeing it. A jury will see it. First degree is the charge right now. First degree murder. Your thoughts?
Exactly. It's a tough case and a sad case on all sides. I'm sure that no one in that room, aside from the police officers, knew that they were being recorded. So I'm sure they weren't aware of that. And it's sad also because the mom, the questioning that she's doing of her daughter, those questions and those answers are actually incriminating the daughter. It's not helping her case at all. If not, it's pushing her.
It shows us the reality, though.
Trial.
For me, it shows us the reality, the reaction of the daughter, the reaction of the mother. This is real. This is real. This isn't going to be fake. This isn't going to be, all right, you know, a year from now, 2 years from now.
Not subject to credibility.
Right.
Exactly. Exactly. Not subject to credibility. If anything, all of this goes towards mitigation, and if there's going to be a defense having to deal with her mental state, because you can see her actual reaction and that she's still in the shock of it all, because she did just give birth and this did just happen. So it's not like reality is setting in. So she is in some form of shock. But this is going to play on both sides for the prosecution, of course, to get a conviction, but for the defense for either mitigation or to try to come with some mental state, try to attack the mental state of her at the time when this happened.
Brian Watkins, what's your gut reaction to this video? Who's it going to help? What does the jury do with it when they see this?
You know, the prosecution has a great case, and the mental state is not going to be an issue. I'd have to disagree with you guys. She has the wherewithal very cleverly to leave it in the trash can, then put a new bag in so people will throw additional trash in, not thinking anything of it, and conceal the baby for some period of time until the trash can gets filled again. Pretty clever. Shows a pretty clever mental state. On the other side of that coin, let's look at the defense in this case. A, we need to know whether or not this was a stillborn. How did she cut the umbilical cord? And does putting a baby in a trash can kill it? I mean, if you set a baby in a trash can, just like we just saw in the dumpster, it survived for 6 hours. So what was the actual cause of death? So yes, you know, is there a crime in putting a newborn baby in a trash can? Yes, but is it murder? Because it didn't necessarily kill the child. So we need to find out what killed the child, like we see in the video here where the lady put the baby in a dumpster. She doesn't get charged with murder for that. Why? Because her baby didn't die, because putting a baby in a trash can doesn't necessarily kill it.
And if the jury believes that maybe the child was stillborn, it becomes a different case, much like the Skylar Richardson case.
Yes.
Well, that was the conclusion the jury made there. These cases are always difficult. They're you know, tough stuff. But that little baby would have had a much better chance with a doctor and the nurses. You're actually literally in the hospital. That's the part I think that's going to aggravate jurors the most. You're actually in the hospital at that moment.